So here we are in the Europa League for Group A. In Group A, we got over here. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I know we said about their shockers and all that stuff, um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So for Group A, I'm gonna go with what I said, that small teams usually don't end up well. So I'm gonna put in last TSC Baka Topola. I've never heard of this
Yeah.
club.
Me
Don't
neither.
know where they're from. Oh, they're from Serbia. Okay, they're from Serbia. No offense to any Serbian fans. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna put them fourth. So third, I'm gonna go with so the rest of these three teams are kind of more well known. So Olympiacos, they used to be a little more grander. They usually were the the usuals in the Champions League, but they've kind of fallen off in recent years a bit, and they
Yeah.
find themselves here in the Europa League for the last couple seasons, I would say. I believe so. But yeah, here we go. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna put them in third. I just feel like they've kind of fallen
Nice.
off a bit, and you've seen teams like AEK Athens and Panathinaikos and I forget the other club. That's what's it called. There's another one, but you've seen like other what's it called, other Greek teams kind of come into the fray, and they're just not as big as they once were. So I'm gonna have them dropping
Yeah.
down into the Conference League playoff. Um, and then we got left West Ham and Freiburg. So Freiburg has been doing pretty well. They always find themselves like in the Europa League, Conference League area in the recent years, and we'll see how they keep progressing. Maybe one day they can make the jump to the Champions League. I'm gonna have them going second, so they will be in
Mm.
that playoff
Yeah.
with the team from the Champions League that dropped down. So I'm gonna have them second, and then obviously in first, you gotta have West Ham United.
Yeah.
You gotta have them up
Not
there.
not gonna complain about this table. I respect them.
Exactly, yeah. But West Ham's been on fire to start off the season, and they're doing pretty well. I don't know where they'll end up at the end. I don't think many people predicted them to end in the top half of the table, let alone, like the European spots. But so far, they're doing pretty good. So if they
Yeah.
keep it up, they might end up, if they don't win this, they might end up back here, or maybe even push for a Champions League spot. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, so that's my Group A. That's what I'm going with on that one. So to move on to Group B, which is honestly the most
The
exciting
group
group.
of death.
Yes, the Group of Death. I can't say I've ever seen a Group of Death in Europa League, and yeah, ever since they changed the format so that there's less teams in the Europa League, and now they have the
Yeah.
Conference League, there was a chance of this happening, and here we are. So we have the Group of Death, which is fitting for the last year of these group stages. Um,
Yeah.
it being a Group of Death in the Conference League, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm gonna start us off. So
You mean
this
the
might,
Europa League?
huh?
The
Did I
Conference
say
League?
did I say Champions League? Oh, I said Conference League. Okay.
It's a Conference League. The
Okay,
Europa
I
League.
thought I
Europa
said
League.
Champions League. I was like, oops. Oh yeah. Well, it's
No.
exciting that we have in the Champions League and now we have in the Europa League. So it's exciting. You usually don't see that. It sucks kind of if you're a fan of one of these four clubs. It's a little sad because you kind of drew the short end of the stick, considering a lot of these groups, the rest of them you can see are pretty much a little more easier to navigate when it comes to getting out and going on to the next round, or worst comes to worst, at least dropping out into the Conference League. But it just happened to be the way it went, and that's how it ended up. So I know for a fact
Yeah.
that I feel like this whole Europa League table is going to be similar, if not exact the same. But where I guarantee you that we're gonna differ on is gonna be on this group, and I already know it. So okay, so
I wouldn't doubt it.
exactly. So for four, a little bit of a shocker, I'm sure to some people, and some people are gonna be upset. But I'm gonna put Ajax in fourth to drop out.
Not a shocker. They're very bad at form right now.
Yeah, they started off the season really badly. They sold a bunch of their players, a lot of their starting 11, so they're struggling a bit to gel with their new signings, and I don't know what's going on over there, but they've been having issues with their board as of a couple years ago when they got rid of some board members or some higher ups, and as of now, They are struggling badly for form, so it's not looking good for them. So I feel that they're gonna drop out. I'm not gonna lie to you. If this was at the start of the season, like if the Europa League draw was before the season started, I probably would have put Ajax in the top two. But seeing how bad they're doing right now, I don't think they could
Yeah.
do a shift against any of these other clubs. So I'm gonna put them fourth.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So okay. So this is where it's gonna get it. No, like it's not exciting. I guess a little different. I
Yeah,
guess
I
we'll.
think I know who you're going third. I think I know who you're going.
I don't know. So as much as I would love to put this team higher and have some type of affiliation, I guess you could say, towards them, but I'm gonna put them in third. I'm gonna put AEK Athens in third.
Yeah,
Which,
the Grease boys.
yeah, so normally I wouldn't have much affiliation when it comes to AEK Athens, but at the moment we got two Mexican internationals that play for AEK Athens. So I said in the last episode that I was upset that Royal Antwerp beat them in the final hurdle to make the Champions League. So, and then to see them end up in the Europa League group of death makes it even worse. So I'm like, that's just great.
Yeah.
But I just can't see them overcoming Brighton and Marseille. You know, they may get lucky one game and get a draw against one of these guys, or maybe an upset. But I just can't see them. I just can't see them pulling it out in the long run because they got their domestic league, which is a little more competitive for them, as they're pretty much always in a heated debate when it comes to their league, which is crazy because you got, like I said, Olympiacos. Oh, the other team I was thinking of was PAOK, and then Panathinaikos and them. So it's always kind of a tough battle at the top of the table. And they only got 14 teams in their league, which makes it a little more difficult, I guess you could say. But the league plus the Europa League may be too much for them, so I'm going to put them in third. I would love to see them upset somebody and go through, but I feel like they have a better chance at the Conference League winning that if they drop down. So I'm going to put them in third.
Yeah.
And then now, I don't know if this is a surprise or not, but for second, I'm going to go with Marseille. Yeah, so they started the season pretty good, you know. I thought they have been doing pretty well. I put them to win the Ligue 1. They've started off pretty well at the moment. Hopefully they can keep going. Cause I'm telling you, this might be the season that PSG might not win the league. So I'm hoping Marseille are able to stay consistent on both fronts here. But I just feel like Marseille is just a really strong team. And I think they could come through to this next but round of 16. We'll see who they play though from the Champions League drop off. But I'm gonna put them second. I know most people are shocked because obviously I'm putting Brighton in first. This is their debut season, and obviously
that's the first season in Europe. That's crazy.
Exactly, it's insane. It's exciting. That's literally the Cinderella story that you always want to see. That's like some FIFA career mode story right there that you would play through, or I guess now you could say FC, I suppose, for the new game. But that's like the things you see when you start off with a small team and you make them go up towards the highest of highs, Champions League, all that good stuff. So it's exciting that they made it up here. They have a good team. They had a great solid start, so I feel like they could compete in the league as well, and we'll see how they do here in the Europa League. But I just feel like they have a lot of good players that they'll be able to overcome all these teams. You know, they did well. They replaced their players really well, definitely. And I feel like they'll do really good in this group of death, and I hope so. It'd be exciting to see them go through in their debut season and make it pretty far. But yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put them there. So on to Group C. So Group C, I'm gonna go. Okay, so this team right here, I'm gonna go fourth, which is Aris Limassol. Aris Limassol. That's the team that I'm going to put in fourth. I haven't heard of this club. This club is it's from Cyprus. Okay,
yeah,
Cyprus.
I was about to say, I was like, Cyprus team.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, Cyprus. You know, I wouldn't expect that from like a small league. I guess I would assume that Cyprus is probably like the smallest league, one of the smallest leagues, besides like the Israel League that participate in these tournaments. But yeah, I'm gonna put them in fourth, and then third, I'm gonna go with Sparta Prague. So Sparta Prague,
No.
I believe they've been in the Champions League before, and they're usually in the Europa League as well.
Yeah,
Like the regulars, I'm pretty sure they're a Romanian club considering the colors. Oh no, it's a
they're
Czech.
Czech,
It's
aren't
a
they?
Czech. Yeah, they
Yeah,
are Czech.
and they're very much performing in their league right now. They're first.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like they're probably like the biggest club in the. Well, besides, well, they also got Slavia
Yeah,
Prague and Victoria Plzeň. Oh, never mind. I was like, they're probably like the biggest team in their league, but I forget about these guys. That they're from
yeah,
Czech
they're one of the
Republic.
bigger ones.
Yeah. Well, I just saw the flag at the bottom. I'm sorry to any Sparta Prague fans. The bottom colors of their crest is blue, yellow, and red, which reminds me of those Romania colors. So I'm sorry for that one. So that mix up
Yeah,
there. But I'm gonna put them in third. You know, obviously the Cyprus club is not as big as the Sparta one, but if you never know, what if the Cyprus club upsets them and they go on and they continue on to the conference league? You know,
yeah,
it's exciting to see some of these smaller clubs from smaller regions go far. So we'll see how that one goes. And second, I'm going to go with Rangers. So Rangers, I feel they've fallen off a bit ever since they lost Steven Gerrard. I want to say he was the one that had them performing really well. They're not doing as
yeah,
good as you would expect them to do. Celtic have pretty much regained their hierarchy at the top of the Scottish Premiership. So I don't know how they'll do versus Celtic, but I just feel like Celtic are just looking so much better, which is funny because a couple seasons ago it was the roles were reversed and now we're reversed back over. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, but I'm gonna put Rangers in second. So which obviously has me put Real Betis in
yeah,
first. Everybody knows if you listen to this podcast that I love me some La Liga clubs. So I'm gonna put
yeah,
Betis in first. Plus they have a great squad. They have good players. They brought in Isco, who's been really great for them to start off the season. I'm excited to see this man play football again after the controversy and drama that he went through last season. It's good to see him playing again and performing. But yeah, so I feel like Betis will do well and they'll continue on. We'll see how they continue on, you know, because they still got the league and all that good stuff. But I feel like Betis, pretty much for the most part, are the mid-table to like higher mid-table up there. So I feel like they should
yeah.
get a result here.
And they
Uh,
definitely got one of the not. I don't want to put disrespect on these teams, but I feel like it's one of the easier tables. Like I feel like they could have definitely got a harder table. So
yeah,
definitely
definitely. I
understandable.
feel like no offense to the Cyprus club, but I feel like at most they should not drop any lower than the conference league. They shouldn't get grouped.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
yeah, 100%.
yeah. But yeah, so that's my group C. So for group D, this one is kind of a toss up, you know, between fourth, you know, obviously Sturm
Yeah,
Graz and Rakau Sis. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Obviously,
yeah. I don't need. I was gonna help you, but I don't know either.
I don't. Some of these words make
Just,
certain. Some of these clubs.
just the Chawa,
Yeah, probably it's
like
better
that.
we just don't say. We just say Rakau. But I say some of
Yeah,
these languages, some of these syllables and the way words roll off the tongue just sound interesting. So yeah, so
definitely.
it's kind of a toss up, but I'm gonna go based off the fact that I feel that the Polish league is not as strong as the Austrian league,
Hmm.
even though RB Salzburg pretty much mops up the Austrian league, but
Yeah,
yeah. But I guess you could say the same thing about the Polish league that like Lech Poznan or Poznan also and Legia Warsaw are kind of bigger clubs in their division, so the division. I don't know where the heck my mind is. Yeah, the division. Should I
because I hear
say the?
watching football, American
I
football.
guess so. I guess so. But yeah, I meant league, so I'm gonna put Rakow at the
Yeah,
bottom. No offense to any Polish fans. You know,
yeah.
I did pay attention a little bit to the Polish league last season. You know, Brian, because there was a Mexican playing in the Polish league, but it didn't end well, so I no longer pay attention to the Polish league. Um,
Yeah, GG's only.
yeah, GG's all right. So third, I'm gonna put Sturm Graz
Girl, yeah.
right there, and then for second, um, this is a tough part, Atalanta, Sporting
There's
too.
no way it's a tough part. There's
It's
no
a
way.
tough one. I'm
Just
pretty
two
sure.
has to be done.
I'm
Just
I'm
two has
assuming
to be
I know which way you're gonna go, so for that reason I'm gonna
done.
swap it just for that. So I'm gonna put
Yeah.
Atalanta in second and Sporting in first, because I'm assuming you had it the other way around. Um,
We'll see when we get to there.
we'll see. I don't know. All I gotta say is don't sleep on these Portuguese clubs in these competitions. They always make it far for a reason. It's been a
Yeah.
while since one won it, but they'll cause you some trouble. They'll put up a fight for sure. So don't think you'll be able to walk over these clubs. You've seen some recent upsets in the previous years. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be exciting to see Sporting win it. I feel like Sporting is in the last couple seasons have been like become like the little brother, I guess, when it comes to the debate of Porto and Benfica. I feel like they've been
Yeah.
slacking off a bit, so it'd be cool to see them win a European Cup. But yeah, so I'm gonna put them in first, and yeah, so that's Group D. So Group E,
Nice.
yeah. So this is another interesting tough one because we got LASK or LASK from Austria, and then we got
Yeah.
Union Saint Gilloise from Belgium. So the Belgium league is always close at the top. You got Ghent, Anderlecht, Bruges, obviously Union Saint Gilloise, and then Royal Antwerp, Genk. That was pretty much put up a fight. It's a 16
Yeah.
league. It's a 16 team league, so it's a little more competitive than you would expect. So I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put last. I'm gonna say last LASK just last below Union Saint Gilloise. Even though these are close, I'm not gonna lie to you. These two could swap easily.
So I got them fourth and third, right?
Yeah,
Just
so
correct
last fourth and
Yeah.
Union Saint Gilloise in third. These two could swap easily.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Don't be surprised if they swap. Don't even be
Yeah.
surprised one of these end up getting an upset and ending up in second. Just gonna say that right now. I feel like Union Saint
Very glad you
Gilloise.
said that, by the way.
Yeah, I'll say Union. I feel like Union
Correct.
Saint Gilloise could do an upset and end up in the top two. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like they're a pretty solid squad. But yeah, so I feel like they could have an upset. But for second, I'm gonna go with Toulouse, based off so that they play in the Ligue 1. I know they're smaller when you compare Toulouse in the Ligue 1 table, and then compare them to Union Saint Gilloise in the Belgium table. You see that they're very drastic. But I just feel like Toulouse can edge this one out. I'm gonna go with this one. I feel like Toulouse can edge this one out. Not too hot, not the greatest start in Ligue 1, so they might be a little cautious when it comes to this league, because I'm pretty sure they don't want to get relegated to Ligue 2. I believe that's the league below.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got to have Liverpool in first here. So Liverpool got pretty fortunate. I say fortunate, but these clubs are a lot bigger than you would see from most ones. So the other clubs and the other groups are a little smaller to these guys. So I can't say lucky, but they could have ended up in the group of death. So it could have been worse.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So for Group F, now this one is another hard one. And it's not a group of death, but it's a semi-group of death, Rennes.
Yeah, I will admit, for this one is one that I actually did struggle with. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. So you got Rennes, Maccabi Haifa, Villarreal, and Panathinaikos. So all these clubs, I would say, are bigger, more well-known clubs. And it's tough. It's tough where to rank these guys. I feel like Maccabi Haifa is always pretty much dominating the Israeli league. But I'm going to have them go fourth here. I just feel like the other teams are a little more bigger to handle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put them fourth. And then third, I'm going to go with Panathinaikos. Might be a bit of shocker because you can easily put them top two. But I just have a little bit more faith in Rennes. But again, don't be surprised if those two swap. Don't be surprised if any of these three swap, because any of these guys can do a job. They could do, they could put in a shift and surprise you. But I just feel like Rennes will edge this one out. And then
this is definitely your upset bracket.
Yeah, definitely. For sure, 100%. This one for sure could have an upset coming a mile away. And then in front, so in first, obviously I have Villarreal, They won this competition a couple years ago where they knocked out Man United in the final on pens. It was a great spectacle. I loved it. I like Villarreal. They're a good club, so we'll see how they do. You know, they're always a very strong team regardless of where they play. We remember last season how they made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They almost made it to the semis. They were so close. If they made it to the semis, it would have been crazy. Or no, did they make it to the semis? It was the semis, right? I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it. No. It was 2 seasons ago. I'm wrong. It was 2 seasons ago, and that was the year that Real Madrid won. Because I remember I said, imagine if it was gonna be a Real Madrid and Villarreal final, it would have been crazy.
Yeah, it was.
It was 2 seasons ago, and it was the semis. They made it to the semis, and they're very close to the finals. I'm not gonna lie. If they made it to the finals and they beat Real Madrid, if Real Madrid made it there, I wouldn't have been upset because, like I said, I love this league. I think it's a great league. As much as I'm a big Real Madrid fan, it would be exciting to see them lift, I think, their first Champions League trophy, but it wasn't to be. They've fallen off a bit. They've sold a bunch of their players, but Villarreal always finds a way to stay relevant. So we'll see how they progress. Maybe they can win it again, end up in the Champions League, and then make it far again. But yeah, so that's my Group F there. Yeah, probably, but there's a lot of big teams here in the Europa League, you know?
Yeah.
And some teams are going to drop down, too, from the Champions League, so it'll make it harder.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The Europa League has become a lot harder, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my Group F. So for Group G, see, it's another tough one. You know, it's another tough one. You got Servette, FC, Sheriff, Slavia Prague, and Roma. So it's tough because I don't know who to put bottom. You know, I don't know whether it's Servette or FC Sheriff. I'm gonna put Sheriff bottom because I just don't care for Sheriff, and their crest looks kind of funky. And they beat Real Madrid that one time in the group stage, so I'm gonna put them fourth. I'm salty, but even then, I don't know. I just can't see it. So they're from the Moldova. They're from the Moldova. Can't speak today. The Moldova League. They're from Moldova, so I'm gonna put them fourth. And then in front of them, I'm gonna put Servette, who are from the Swiss League, so I'm gonna put them in third there. And then for top two, so I'm gonna put Slavia Prague in second. They usually are in the Europa League. They've made it somewhat far in the couples, like the last recent seasons. Like last time, I think they played. If I remember correct, I'm sure they were here the last couple seasons, but I remember they played Arsenal in the quarterfinals, where Arsenal obviously went on to beat them, I believe. So they do have some experience in this league. So I'm gonna put them second, and I'm gonna put Roma in first. So they were the unfortunate
redemption.
the unfortunate runners-up last season. They lost to Sevilla in the finals.
They lost. They got robbed.
They got robbed. It was not. It was not a disgrace.
It was a robbery.
I don't even remember the game, so I'm sure you remember better than I do. But either way,
it was definitely the controversial moment.
It's been a while. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I'll take your word for it. It sounds about right, honestly. It sounds about right. I can see people online going crazy over this game, but I'm gonna put Roma first. They should get out of this group easily. If not, we'll see, because they have had a slow start in the season, but they should still get out of this group. If not, it'd be pretty embarrassing, honestly, if they drop down. If they drop down to the conference, it could be pretty embarrassing. If they don't top this group, it'd be embarrassing, considering the clubs that are in this group.
And if anything, this is the one thing they should be looking forward to after last year. So
exactly, honestly, exactly. They missed out on the Champions League at the very end of the series last season, unfortunately for them. I'm sure they're looking forward to that, but it wasn't to be. I'm gonna put them in first. So for the last group, Group H, I'm going to go with. So we got Quarabag, FK, Mold, Hacken, and Leverkusen. Leverkusen. So, another tough one, But I'm gonna go with fourth. I'm gonna go with Qarabag, fourth. I'm gonna go with Hacken for third, and then I'm gonna go Mold in second,
Leverkusen first.
Yep, Leverkusen first. It feels like it's just a simple, easy one there. Again,
Yeah.
you could see a surprise. You could see Hacken and Mold swap spots. You just never know how it'll play out. You never know. Maybe quarterback will surprise you, but this is the way I'm gonna go here. Um, but yeah, so that's how I have it. Bayer Leverkusen are looking super strong with Xabi Alonso at the helm, so I feel confident that he'll help them out loads, and they may make another run. You know, they made it to the semis last season. Unlucky to lose to Roma in the semifinals, but yeah. So that's that. But yeah, so
Nice.
those are my picks. Any questions or not questions? Anything to comment about my selections there, Brian?
I do think so. So I think the group of death could have been different. I'm not
Of
gonna lie.
course.
I also think, in my personal opinion, you'll see in my ranking, but I think you got Villarreal way too high, buddy.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's just a little preview. But I mean, a lot of the ones are kind of self-explanatory. They're pretty basic. Not
Yeah.
don't want to like undercut the teams, but like I feel like they're pretty spot on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I can start off with my group. So Group
Yeah.
A, I
Good.
think, is basically identical as yours. I had the TSC Bacatapola fourth. Then I had this one. Well, actually, it might not be the same. I don't know if you had Olympiacos second.
Olympiacos. I had Olympiacos third.
Oh no, never mind. It's the same. Yeah, I also have Olympiacos third. Makes me want just for the memes to change him to
Swap them.
second, but no, I'm gonna leave him alone. I'll leave Olympiacos third, and then two I have Freiburg, and then obviously first I had West Ham based on their form right now and just how crazy they're playing. And I mean, I doubt it'll change once it gets here. So that's kind of how I had it for this one. For Group B, this is where it gets interesting. So I too also had Ajax fourth. I had them fourth
Oh,
based on their.
wow.
Oh wait, did you not have Ajax fourth?
I did. I just didn't think you'd agree with
Oh
me on
yeah.
that one.
No, 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 no. I was like, wait, I was like, I'm pretty sure you had them fourth.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
I
I
had
was
them
just
fourth.
surprised.
No, I had him fourth. I know, and this is funny because you said that this one was gonna be changing, but I was just like, I was like, we both had the same thing.
Oh,
No, I had
wow.
Ajax fourth because I was looking at their form, and their form this year, like to start off, is so terrible. And then I just feel like if there's gonna be an upset, it could be with Ajax. So then, for that reason, I put Ajax fourth. Third, I put AEK Athens, or yeah, third.
Yeah.
And then with second, I got Brighton, and
Oh,
I got
okay.
Brighton because it's their first European competition. I don't. They are performing a little bit right now in the Prem, but I feel like the Prem and the Europa League is going to be two different themes.
Yeah.
I feel like when they get to the Europa League, I don't want to say they're going to like shit the bed and like all this and that, you know. But I do feel like they won't struggle, but it will be a challenge, and I can see them getting like an upset game where like they can just lose a game. But I mean, I'm not very confident saying Marseille's first. So like, if that gives you an idea, I can easily see Brighton first though. Not gonna lie, but for this sake, I'm gonna put Marseille first and Brighton second, just because it's their first European competition.
That's
So I don't
fair.
want to get ahead of myself and like put them before I even know how they perform. So
That's fair.
yeah. So Group C for fourth, I had, I think you say Eris, right? Eris Limassol? Limassol?
Let me see.
I think that's,
It's Eris. I went Eris Limassol or Limassol.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had fourth Eris Limassol. Third, this one could be a shocker.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a shocker. I'm gonna put Rangers in third, and I'm gonna
Okay.
put them in third strictly based off how Sparta Praha is in their league. And I mean, like you said, I was like, I feel like Rangers have kind of fallen off a bit, so like I
Yeah.
don't think they're the club they used to be. So for that reason, I'm gonna put them third. Obviously, that from based off the logic I just said, that puts Sparta Praha second. And I mean, I don't think there's anybody going to top Betis in this group. I mean, there's always room for upsets, but I just personally don't think there's going to be one in this group. And I think their club is just kind of massive for these teams in this group. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a pretty easy way out. Like I don't want to make it sound like that, but I think they'll have it pretty easy.
Yeah. I get what you're
So
saying.
with Group D, oh, this is also one where
It's
I kind of seen a little
interesting.
change.
Okay.
Yes. So fourth, I got Raquel, right?
Oh yeah,
Raquel. Third, I also got Sturm. I think you had in that same order
I
as
did.
well.
I did.
Yeah. With second, I actually put Atlanta.
Oh
So you,
wow.
yeah, I had Atlanta with first 40. And I'll tell you why. And the why is because the same thing you said. Do not get shocked when these Portuguese teams perform in the European Cup. So that's why I had Sporting the whole time. I was kind of hoping you just stuck with Atlanta. I didn't want to give it away when you said the Sporting. I was just like, bro, I was like, this guy thinks he has me baffled, but he does.
I thought you would have went the other way around because I guess Atalanta plays in a more difficult league, so I
Yeah,
thought
and
you
it's like a
might back them.
yeah.
And I
No,
was gonna do it, but then I said, you know what? I'll swap these.
yeah. So whenever you said you were gonna solve mine, I tried so hard not to like laugh and like out loud. I was like, dude, because I knew the second you heard me laugh, you're gonna be like, nah, I'm changing it. But I'm like, nah, you already said it, man. So you gotta
Yeah,
stick with it.
no, that's fine.
Nah,
That's fine. I still
yeah,
have faith in
no.
Sporting.
Yeah, so I had faith in Sporting just because I feel like they always perform these Portuguese teams, and I feel like why not put them above Atlanta? Just as a little shocker. I mean, it's I don't personally see it as I don't personally see it as a shocker, but I feel like other people can. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my Group D. Group E. This is where it gets
Interesting.
a little fun. Yeah. So for fourth, I also got LASK last. However you pronounce it, I
Yeah.
don't really know how. So yeah. So fourth, that's who I got. Third, I actually
Mm.
got to lose. So it's funny
Oh,
that you,
I had a
yeah, it's
feeling.
fun. Yeah, that's why I said it's funny that you had said that you could easily see Toulouse and Union swap because I was just like that's how I have it. So
Yeah.
I mean it works out perfectly and it's better too for the guesses like that were not the same exact thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I could see them third. I don't know why, but I just feel like I have more faith in Union SG. So that's why I have them second. And I mean, I wish I could just like throw them at like first, like as a big underdog, but there is no way Liverpool's not coming out of the group. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's pretty
There's
self-explanatory
no
that
way they don't top this group.
yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory that Liverpool's gonna go first. But I wish I could even put Union SG like in first, but not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
I get you.
So Liverpool first, Union second, Toulouse third, LSK fourth. So Group F, this is the one that I've been
Okay.
waiting for.
I have an idea
So
which way you're gonna
fourth.
go, but yeah.
Fourth, I got Maccabi
Haifa.
I don't know anything.
Haifa?
Yeah, Haifa. I got Maccabi Haifa. Just don't have faith compared to the other three teams. I feel like they're just the ones that are kind of like left out of the loop.
Yeah.
Third, Villarreal.
No
I do not think they
surprise.
will be performing. I do not think. I don't. They're not off to a slow start in La Liga, but they're always like mid-table type of team. So I don't want to say they're like underperforming or like overperforming. Now they're kind of just like where they
Yeah.
usually are. So I genuinely am just going this one. So this one, how I thought in my head, not that it would be like a shocker, but I felt like I should go a little bit more rogue on this one just because I feel like it can go very much differently. And like one of these top three teams are kind of like closer to each other, like level wise. So second, I got Panathinaikos,
Oh, okay.
and third, I got Rennes. Yeah, I feel like Rennes got off to a pretty good start in League One, so hopefully they can keep that up and it can stay with the Europa League. But I mean, it all depends. Time will tell. But yeah, for this case, I got them in first.
Okay.
So Group G. It's funny because I also have Sheriff fourth, just because I looked at the badge too, and like I don't know, it just like pissed me off. But I don't know why. But
Looks so goofy.
I'm kind of wanting to change them third because like I don't know. I just don't like their badge, but I mean Cervete is like playing way worse. So for this case, since you went Sheriff fourth, I'm gonna go third for Sheriff,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll put Cervete fourth, just because they're like playing so bad in their league that like it's not even funny. I feel
Yeah.
like Loki might even get relegated. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll put them fourth, Sheriff third. I'll put Slavia Praha second because I don't think there's no way they top the group. I mean, Roma's literally going to be coming for a revenge tour. they haven't started performing yet in the league, but I'm sure it'll definitely translate once it gets to the Europa League. I mean, they're literally got robbed last year. I'm pretty sure it was with a pen, which should have been a pen, but it wasn't called a pen. So yeah, they're literally just gonna come back, and
Yeah.
don't be surprised if they win and all. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, don't be surprised, honestly.
So yeah, it's Group G, Group H. I feel like this is one that I could have put differently, but I mean, just gonna leave it as is. It's pretty much same as yours. I want to say I had Quarterback fourth, I had Hacken third, Moldy second, and Leverkusen first. I not gonna lie to you, I don't even know about like Quarterback and Hacken, so kind of just had them in that order. I mean, we'll see if they perform, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave them in that order.
Yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, that was my Europa League. Any shockers to you?
I would say the Villarreal one is the shocker on my part. I mean,
Mm,
I can't see it, man. Maybe I got too much faith in my La Liga clubs, but I just don't think. I don't think they'll get third, man. I think they'll do well. I mean, it's Villarreal. You know,
yeah,
they're always good. They're hard to play against. Even as a Real Madrid fan, they're very annoying to play against because they're always very good and they always perform.
yeah, no,
So
100%.
I just don't think they'll get third. Maybe second, but I just can't see them dropping out of the top spot. But we'll see how it plays out. You never know. Again, it's the Europa League, so form is very
Yeah.
different. You may be shit in your league and good in the Europa League, or vice versa. So you never know.